What up, everyone? It's your boy, Satemangala, the Reverend of the Revolution, welcoming you to another edition of Your Daily Revolution, the podcast that helps you to wake up, turn your brain on, and to prosper every single day in every part of your life. Today's topic: how to overcome adversity. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So I'm sitting here on my fountain, right on the outside ledges of my fountain in sunny Southern California, feeling the breeze on my skin, sitting in the shade, looking in my neighborhood, beautiful homes. It's all manicured and landscaped. And I'm sitting here thinking, it was just 6 years ago this month. 6 years ago, 6 short years this month that I was standing before a bankruptcy judge. 7 years ago at this time, I was flying to New York City to sell my Super Bowl ring to a collector. 8 years ago at this time, 8 years ago in 2008, at this time, I was stressed out. We were bleeding about, $100,000 a month, losing business, losing cars, losing homes. And now today I sit here shooting a podcast, doing what I love to do. How did this happen? What does this mean to you? When you're done listening to this podcast, you will have some very specific steps on how you can deal with and overcome adversity. Yes, trials, tribulation, affliction, adversity, challenges. Let me be more specific. Financial turmoil, loss of a loved one, death, illness, divorce, cancer, you name it. Like, when you're done listening to this podcast, my goal and objective is to have you in a position where you're like, dude, I got it. Thank you, Satema. But before we do this, I need you to do me one favor. I need you to be open, right? You can listen to podcasts. You may listen to this while you're driving, while you're working out, while you're laying in bed. I don't know when you listen to this and when you listen to my voice, but know this. If you cannot be open to what I'm about to share with you, which comes from a very sacred part of my heart, you will miss the entire message. So I need you to listen. Number one, adversity is necessary. Now, I know there's a whole group of gurus and self-help and personal growth development professionals that will say things like, no, it's not. It doesn't have to be hard. It's all about love. And, it doesn't have to be challenging. For example, on my page the other day, I said, if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. I shot a video on this. And I had one woman who always comments her cutesy wootsy, fancy pantsy wancy, like panda bear and happy fruits, always comes on and says, Satema, it's not about challenging people. It's about loving people. And I said to her, well, you missed the entire point. And she said, so did you. I just blocked her because I'm sick and tired of seeing her bull crap. Listen, it has to be challenging. How else did you think you were going to grow? If there's a divine plan for your life, which there is, and there's a real plan, and we're not just like pond scum here on the earth that grew from the mollusks and the bacteria, then there's a divine plan for us. Let me tell you what that divine plan is. Eternal expansion and value creation. That's what this is all about. Now, brothers and sisters, listen to me. Adversity is necessary. That's the first thing you got to understand. It is necessary. It is vital to our becoming who we were born to become. See, if you have the perspective, why me? Why? Why is this happening to me? If you have that perspective, you are in trouble and you will suffer. Because life will deliver obstacle, opposition, resistance, trial, challenge. It's part of the plan of life. And the sooner you simply accept and embrace that concept, that I'm going to be tested, it's going to be challenging at times, it will help me to grow, and it will help me to depend on and lean upon my maker, my God, or the universe. I call him God. So do you accept that there's adversity? Physically, you're going to have, like right now, my back hurts. It does. I ran a very fast-paced mile yesterday in my workout. Oh my gosh, and it hurt, like it hurts my back to do that. Like I can't stand up straight. I feel like I'm playing football again. I'm in pain. And maybe some of you, like my brother, like limps on a cane. He's 42 years old. And he has to limp around and like, dude, he's going through some adversity. And I know people who are going through bitter divorce right now. Like it pains my heart to see women cry their eyes out because their husbands have been one-dimensional douchebags and have made some decisions that are very poor. Yes, adversity is going to come. Just know that. Now, when it comes, and it will come, and it's not a matter of if, it's when it comes to you, whatever that looks like. Maybe you're running a business right now, and you just can't seem to get over the hump. Like maybe you're trying your best to be a coach or an author, or in your job, like you're an employee of a great company, and they're getting ready to lay you off, and you've given them your heart and soul. Right? You created nothing but value for them, and then someone kind of screwed you over and fired you. This is adversity. And a lot of adversity we don't bring upon ourselves. It's just part of life. So when it comes, step number 2, embrace the adversity as a gift. Let me say this again. Embrace the adversity as a gift. Can you do that? When I hurt my back and it continued to get worse and worse, and BYU, I had all my shoulder surgeries. That was adversity for me. You understand? I wanted to go to the NFL. I was one of the best players in the country, absolutely, hands down, no doubt about it. Then I had another 5th and final shoulder surgery, couldn't do anything. I'm going through all these injuries like, God, what is going on? And when I began to embrace it as a gift and say, God, what am I supposed to learn from these lessons? There are lessons and gifts here. So you can look at it one of two ways. You can look at it as a victim. Why me? Why is this happening? That doesn't ever help anybody. It won't help you. It won't help you to complain about it. It won't help you to murmur about it. It won't help you to ask, why me? Why is this happening? Like that's a slow death of misery, suffering, frustration. So embrace it. When I just embrace and say, God, there's a lesson here. Help me to find it. I got some beautiful lessons from all my injuries at BYU. When I lost everything, 6 years ago and I was bankrupt, I sold my Super Bowl ring. There's divine gifts in there, but guess what? Guess who's going to have to find the gift? You, my friend. You have to find the gift for you. Wouldn't it be nice if God just put it on a platter and said, here's the lesson, here's the gift? Don't happen that way. Some of the greatest gifts are hidden in adversity. Like the seeds of greatness come through adversity. Greater gifts than you could have ever imagined come through adversity. If you'll embrace it. What does it mean? What do I mean by embrace? Acknowledge the adversity. Right? What is? The next thing, appreciate the adversity. Yes, some of you are like, dude, there is no way I'm going to say thank you for this adversity. And I know. I can only imagine. I can't even imagine if I was to lose one of my sons or my wife. I get emotional now thinking about it. And yet I know deep in my heart that there's a divine plan, and that God has a plan for me, and there's a plan for you, and that adversity is good, and if we can learn to embrace and trust and find the gifts in it. Like I have family members that have had to have surgery, like women had to shave their head, and now they got the scar and they had cancer. Like it's part of life. Embrace the adversity. So number 1, adversity is inevitable. Number 2, embrace and find the gift. Embrace means to appreciate it. Say thank you. And create the lesson in the divine gifts. There are gifts that will come from adversity. Number 3, probably my most favorite. Get stronger from the adversity. Now, some people think, well, no, you just naturally get stronger from adversity. No, you don't. You don't get naturally stronger from adversity. Some people, it kills them. The bitterness eats them up. You're going to have to consciously choose to get better. Well, how do you do this? Well, you take the lesson that you discovered And you begin to apply the lesson over and over and over. And you begin to use your adversity as stepping stones to not repeat the lessons that adversity is teaching you. If you don't get better as a result of it, you will get worse and it will weaken you. From my surgeries, I have learned to trust God more and more. I have learned to take better care of my body. I have learned that for a big man like myself, probably not a good idea to go longboarding and go 30 miles an hour. I have learned from my business lessons to be wise with the money that I make and that it's a resource and I must show wise stewardship. I have also learned from losing millions of dollars to have courage and to take a bold stand for what I believe. I've learned lesson after lesson and I apply them today. And as I sit here outside of my home in southern sunny California, looking at my basketball hoop, looking at the chalk on the ground, hearing the birds and feeling the wind and hearing the dogs bark, I'm so grateful because would never ever be here if I did not learn and go through the adversity that I went through. Do you understand what it's like to be bankrupt, to be embarrassed and humiliated, to give up everything you had, to start again at ground zero after you once lived a great life of financial abundance? Do you know what it's like to have people pull you down and hate on you? Oh, there goes Satem again. Yep, so glad he failed. He should never have brought those cars in the first place. Oh, who does he think he is? And yet through all the adversity, through the trial, through the challenging times, I have become stronger because I have consciously chosen to get better. Brothers and sisters, what are the lessons you can learn from the adversity you face in your business today? What are the divine gifts you can learn from the challenges and adversity inside of your marriage? What are the divine gifts you can learn from the challenges you face with your physical body, sicknesses, illness? If you will embrace and appreciate those, and if you will consciously choose to deliberately get better, find ways to get better, brothers and sisters, you will become so strong from the adversity. And then, like the scriptures teach, God will consecrate your affliction for good. Oh, yes, he will. He will consecrate your affliction for good. I want you to know something, my brothers and sisters who listen to this. Adversity is beautiful. It becomes a gift. And all of a sudden you change the meaning of adversity of something bad to something that just is, that will deliver a divine gift. Brothers and sisters, change the meaning of all the trials you go through. Hang in there. Don't give up. Don't quit. If certainly a man like myself, who I do not consider myself to be the most talented, I don't consider myself to be the smartest cookie in the jar, I don't consider myself to be the smartest and sharpest bowling ball out there. I'm just a man who's willing to apply principles, to get up each time I fall, to learn from my mistakes and choices, to learn from other people, and to keep chopping the wood and to keep moving forward. Don't give up, brothers and sisters. Don't quit. Embrace your adversity. Appreciate it. Learn the lessons and move forward. This is Satem Ali wanting you to know, if you want my help, and this is helpful for you, somewhere on this page that you're listening to this, if you're on my site, satemangali.com, there's a form for you to fill out to work with me. Fill out the form. My team will contact you, and let's have a conversation. It's your boy Satem Ali reminding you, if you're going to create a life that you love, a life of real radical results, it's going to require you to get into a relentless pursuit with a ruthless commitment to pay the piper every single day so that you can get to the top of your mountains where your prized promised lands and possibilities are waiting, just waiting for you. The revolution has begun. I'm out. For more info on joining the revolution and living your greatest life of prosperity today, go to www.yourdailyrevolution.com and join us in waking up, turning your brain on, and prospering today.